Hello, and welcome back to AI Investing Academy. This is Francisco, the investing strategist. So, if you recall the last video we did, we created a spreadsheet with different AI companies and we assigned those companies to different categories of AI. So, we had categories like narrow AI or general AI or even super intelligent AI. And we put some names within those categories, and it's okay if those names appear in different categories because it means that they are working in different areas probably. But we currently have a spreadsheet indicating a list of categories and a number of AI companies that are working in that space. So the next step would be to analyze these companies from a financial analysis and try to come up with an AI portfolio. But before we do that, it occurred to me that since we already have this category of AI, so to speak, and we already have companies assigned to those categories, we can probably look if there are names that are repeating in different categories. And maybe these are the first companies that we would like to see in an AI stock portfolio. So the rationale behind it is that these are the companies that probably have the resources, the tools, and the funds to really make a significant to see significant progress in the AI area. The rationale behind it is that the companies that would appear in different categories, they probably have the knowledge, the resources, the tools, and the funds to invest in different AI initiatives at the same time. And therefore, that makes it very likely that they will be the ones seeing good returns on their investments sooner than many other companies. Now, this is just a hypothesis. It could be the other way around, but since we already have information on different AI companies and we already have them assigned to specific categories, we can look into that information or into that data and try to come up with a first AI stock portfolio. So that's why I'm calling this in all stages of AI portfolio, because we're looking for these companies that are in different or that are working in different initiatives within those categories of AI. Now, there's a backstory to all this, and that's the fact that many of the companies in the IT sector know of past stories or know the history of other companies that in the past failed to take advantage of an opportunity that came along and then pay dearly for it. So that was the case for Kodak, that didn't see the opportunity in digital photography. Now, to be fair, they did try it out when digital photography was coming up or was coming out. But the problem was that they saw digital photography from a perspective of chemists or a company that was already creating amazing film that could capture vibrant colors such as Kodachrome, which was used by many pro photographers for many years. Even uh, magazines and publications like to print those photographies because they had a very vibrant feel to them. So when the Kodak board saw the digital cameras and they saw that the image was very low quality, that it was just within the camera and they couldn't print it out, for them it was kind of a waste of time. So what we see in this industry time and time again is that you need to see opportunities from a beginner's perspective or with fresh eyes as if you were new in the field. Um, and that's why great opportunities have been lost along the way, such as the case of Blockbuster not purchasing Netflix when they had the chance. So what I'm trying to get to here is that many of the companies in the IT space already know this, and they don't want to be the ones missing out on an opportunity that they have right now and that they could miss and pay dearly for it because somebody else can take it and become a powerful competitor down the road, just like they did back in the day. That's why we have Google and Amazon today, because other companies that probably were more established and in better position to go down that route didn't actually follow through because they were not interested and they didn't see that opportunity. Okay, so as I said before, we're going to work with this list of companies that we already have, companies by sector. And the first thing that we will do is put this through the GPTs and ask them to identify which names come up the most, and see if we can come up with a portfolio of names for that. And and also see if we have to do any kind of considerations in terms of the results. Okay, so let's do it. All right, so I'm back with Meta AI. And as we did before, I am going to make sure that it's still acting as a professional investment strategist because it's been a few days since I have not interacted with it. So let's just make sure that we are engaging with the right role or profile that we want. Perfect. So we already have an answer that it's doing so. I will copy that to the other GPTs in a moment, but I think we can input the prompt that I wanted to answer now. Okay, so what I want to do here is I have a list of categories and AI stocks within them, but I'm wondering if I have too many categories. And of course, that would lead to a lot of stocks, right? So the first thing that I am going to ask the GPTs, in this case Meta AI, is for it to take a look at the data and identify if there are categories that are very closely related, and if so, I want it to consolidate to a larger category. And then I want it to identify those companies, those companies that show up in all or most of these categories that are closely related within each other. And finally, I just wanted to list that new category with the companies associated to it. So I'm trying to simplify the bulk of information to have a clear understanding of which are the main categories within AI from the from Meta AI perspective in this case, but I'm also going to ask the same thing for Gemini and for ChatGPT, and which are the companies that show up the most in those categories and that should be considered as a reference within this category. To be honest, I am expecting for all the GPTs to deliver a very similar result because this would mean going through the chart that I already have and just sorting the information and giving it back to me in a different form, but the data is already there. So I'm guessing this it should be a very similar result unless my prompt is not clear enough or they have doubts about it. So let's give it a go. Okay, so I've sent the prompt to Meta AI, and here's the answer. I understand. To simplify your AI company categorization table, I'll 1. Consolidate closely related categories. 2. Identify companies present in multiple categories. 3. List only those companies in the new consolidated category. So looks okay. Let's give it the table and see what it does. Okay, so we have the answer, and I think in general terms, it satisfies my expectations. So I was expecting to see mostly uh, large cap stocks here, the Magnificent Seven, plus the ones that we already know, and it's indicating how many times it shows up in categories. So that's what we have here. And here is the chart. Nice. So let's run these two prompts with the other GPTs and see if we get to the same answers. So Gemini gave me an answer, and it also kind of put it in a chart form and created a spreadsheet. Okay, so took a bit of back and forth with ChatGPT. Apparently, the upload of the table didn't go as smoothly as planned. It kind of created an image there, and that set the whole thing crazy. Then I uploaded the chart, but it didn't recognize it. But now apparently it's working on it and getting the job done. Okay, so there we have it. So let's put this on a different spreadsheet, and we'll see what each of them identified, and we will look at that in much more detail. Okay. Okay, I see that ChatGPT didn't provide an updated chart, so let's press it for one. So there we are. It had not consolidated the categories, so I asked it to do so and list the companies that appeared in all or most of the original categories. Frankly, now it's done it. So let's move this info to the spreadsheet. Okay, so in order to count how many times a name appears in this chart, I'm going to use the count function, which I have already done here. So on this side, you have the name of the company, and here it's how many times that name appears in the whole table. So we have now clarity in terms of the times the companies appear in the table, and now we can compare that to the results given to us by the GPTs. Right, guys, so I took the top 25 stock in the list. These are the ones that have the most occurrences in the chart here. And I tried to come up with a very simple classification. So these are chip makers, hyperscalers, software applications, and industrial use. I think if we look at the portfolios that were created by the GPTs, we see similar things. ChatGPT went with the most obvious ones that I am also including here. And in order of appearance, they are like Google would be number two, Amazon around number six. And that's okay. And probably Meta AI came up with something more interesting. Since it consolidated the categories, it's looking for the best stock for each category. And you see here names that are not anywhere else, such as Samsung and Toyota. So yeah, I think out of all the answers from the GPTs, I think I like Meta AI is the best. Even more so considering that Google Gemini didn't come up with anything. And there you have it, guys. You have 3 AI stock portfolios to choose from. Okay, so the next step will be to start including the financial details for each stock. And then we will engage again with the GPTs and ask them for analysis and recommendation in terms of which stock is the best to invest on at this particular time. In any case, I think we completed the objective of coming up with a with an AI stock portfolio in a quick manner just by looking at the companies that show up the most in the different AI categories, which means they are active in many AI initiatives. Hey guys, so if you have enjoyed this video, please make sure to like it, share it, and in case you have not done so, Please subscribe to the channel so you're in the loop when we release additional content. Thank you. See you soon.